Hello everybody, here we are today doing a Western Conference Final Series review between the Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers. So before we get started with it, please make sure to subscribe if you're new to me or hockey, whatever the case may be. That being said, let's get on into it. So game 1 in Dallas would see just 10 combined shots in the first period, 0 goals. So it wouldn't be until the second where you would see Leon Draisaitl score an early goal to give the Oilers a 1-0 lead, followed by Zach Hyman ends up making a 2-0 game. You would see, luckily though, for the Stars, Tyler Seguin end up scoring a goal as after 40 minutes of play. It's a 2-1 game. Now, in the third, Dallas is going to need a goal, and it is, again, Tyler Seguin that plays the hero in this situation as they're able to force overtime and OT. Connor McDavid ends up getting called for a double minor, gives the Stars the ability to go on a longer power play, get things set up. They do get some shots, they hit the post, they fail to score. That's a big issue, as later on in double overtime, the man that nearly cost the Oilers the game, that being Connor McDavid, ends up scoring the game-winning goal as the Oilers take a 1-0 series lead, steal home ice advantage away from Dallas with a 3-2 victory on the road. So then game 2 in Dallas, you would see the Stars take their first lead of the series thanks to Jamie Benn in the first period. But Connor Brown would be able to get a goal for the Oilers as it's 1-1. 19 combined shots in the second period, but 0 goals. And then in the third, it'd be Mason Marchment ends up scoring a goal to regain the lead for Dallas as it is now 2-1. Again, another low-scoring game where things are close, and you'd see Asa Lindell end up getting an empty netter as Dallas would go on to even up the series with a 3-1 victory. Now we're headed to Edmonton for Game 3. So before Game 3, we'd see Adam Henrique and then Roope Hintz end up coming back from some injuries before this game. Missed, obviously some time, so it's cool to see. In the first, you would see the Oilers end up lead the shots, and things worked out well for them, as you would see McDavid and Hyman get them out to a 2-0 lead. However, in the second, Dallas would outshoot them 16-7 and would see 3 goals, that being by Robertson again, and then I believe it was Hintz. No, it wasn't. It was actually Johnston. But in the second, you would see a goal for the Oilers to be able to make it a 3-3 game after 40 minutes of play by Adam Henrique. Then in the third, Robertson gets another goal for his first career playoff hat trick, and Roope Hintz adds an empty netter as Dallas regains the series lead, or actually takes it for the first time, I should say, as it's 2-1 with a 5-3 victory in Game 3 against the Oilers. So with Game 4 being such a big game, you would see the Stars jump out to a 2-0 lead in the first. You would see goals from Wyatt Johnston and then Asa Lindell, but you would also see the Oilers be able to bounce back and score 2 goals in the first as well, thanks to Ryan McLeod and then Evan Bouchard. So it's a 2-2 game, and things are starting off pretty high scoring compared to some things how they had gone before. The second period, though, things shift a little bit, and that's because in the second period, you would see Matthias Janmark get a shorthanded goal, followed by Leon Draisaitl, as it is now a 4-2 game for the Oilers. Then in the third, you see Mattias Ekholm score a goal as the Oilers go on to win this game 5-2. Big deal because they end up scoring 5 unanswered goals after being down 2-0, and they were able to rally back and make it an even series instead of being down 3-1 when there's a real potential they could have done that, because again, scoring 3 goals early in a game, knowing you have to score 3 goals to win with the possibility of the other team needing to score a goal or getting to score a goal where you may have to score 4, kind of a big deal. But Edmonton in a good spot, headed to Texas for Game 5. So obviously whoever wins Game 5 is going to be in a spot where they're 1 win away from making it to the Stanley Cup Final, and the Oilers are very happy to see Ryan Nugent-Hopkins score a power play goal in the first period. They feel even better with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scoring another power play goal in the second period, and they have to feel even better than that with Philip Broberg end up scoring his first playoff goal of his career, I believe, in this game as they take a 3-0 lead. Huge. And then in the third period, the Stars know they need an answer fast. They get a goal from Wyatt Johnston. That's it though, as the Oilers end up going on to win this game on the road again as they get to head home, and they are now just 1 win away from heading to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time in a minute. So Game 6 is huge because Dallas wants to be able to go back to their building for Game 7, but they take some penalties early, and you would see Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman end up scoring some goals, and those are both on the power play. Kind of a big issue there as Edmonton has built up a nice 2-0 lead. They haven't had a lot of shots. In fact, they are up 2-0 after they've been outshot 12-3, I believe, at this point in the game. The Stars are putting the pressure on them basically the rest of the way. At one point, they're out shooting them something like 30-8 or 32-10. Somewhere in there, the Oilers end up getting some shots. I can't remember exactly. You would see in the third period, the Stars end up getting a goal to make things back and interesting, as it is now 2-1. They continue to apply pressure. There's some moments, especially in the last minute, where you think maybe, just maybe, but the Oilers go on to win this game 2-1 despite not getting a lot of shots, and they are now headed to the Stanley Cup final. So looking back at this series, there's a lot of things that stick out here, with one of those being the fact that the Stars end up failing to score a power play goal in any of these games. They go 0 for 14 or 0 for 15 in this time. That is a huge issue. You would see Joe Pavelski, Matt Duchene, and some other names end up not having any points. You would see Thomas Harley end up just having 2 points. There's a lot of things that end up going wrong here, and I think one of those notably was up until Game 6 in regulation, the Stars never cracked over 25 shots in the series. Going to be a huge issue when you play a team like the Oilers that have the ability to score. If you're not scoring a lot of goals in this series, like we saw Dallas really wasn't, aside from Game 3 when they scored 5 goals, that's going to be kind of an issue. The Oilers are able to score on the power play at times, multiple power play goals, and that again is a problem for the Stars as they fail to generate shots. They're not scoring on the power play. They are taking penalties, and Edmonton is punishing for them that. And this all around was one of those series where, yeah, it's weird because at points you would think Dallas could win these, especially with having a multi-goal lead in one of these games. But the Oilers are able to rally and be stingy, especially when it comes to inner slot shots. So for the Dallas Stars, this is obviously a very heartbreaking season as they have the top seed in the Western Conference. Very good year for them, and they made it to their 3rd Western Conference final in 5 years. But at the end of the day, it comes down to making it to the Stanley Cup final. They did not have great play at points in this series, or a good chunk of it at all, for being honest. They have a good team, but they fail to take advantage of some things. I know people will say, oh, well, Tanev ends up missing a game because of an injury. Ropa Hintz comes in this late. You know, the Oilers dealt with some stuff too, but they are going on in the Stanley Cup final, whereas Dallas isn't, and goal scoring was a huge issue for this, which is crazy to me because of how much depth Dallas has, and just the fact that they didn't score more than 2 goals in 4 of these 6 games. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Now, as for the Edmonton Oilers, this is really awesome to see. We're going to do a video over them later in the week, kind of talking about why this is an important thing. And for them, this is just so cool because they haven't made it since 2006. Of course, I'm also going to do a video about what life was like back in 2006 when they last made it, because I've done that every year when one of the teams hasn't been there in a minute. And you get to see possibly a huge legacy boost for somebody like Connor McDavid in terms of winning the cup. There's other names, of course, as well. And you're going to see some contracts that look really bad, but they're going to look better if they end up winning the cup. But this is a team that has been able to go to the playoffs multiple times in recent years. They had a deep run in 2022 and ended up getting swept by the Avs. This year, it's a different case. They take on the 2nd best team in the league, or at least one of the best teams in the league, in Dallas, and they beat them multiple times on the road. They are, again, very stingy, and they proved to be a team that got hot after a slow start to the year and are now headed to the Stanley Cup final for the first time in a very long time. Get to play the Panthers. Not going to be an easy test, but we'll see how it goes. But anyway, what are your thoughts on the series? Why do you think the Dallas Stars lost? Why do you think the Edmonton Oilers won? Let me know all that stuff down below in the comments. Who do you think is going to win the Stanley Cup, Edmonton or Florida? Let me know that stuff too in the comments. Please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe. Have a great night, and go Valky, alright. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.